record button. Hit the start stream button. Ready?
Yep.
Go live. And we're live here on Facebook. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land. And also like to welcome you, my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing today?
All right, Mike. I'm doing good. Happy opening day, post day, because we didn't record before opening day, but
Or on
it's
opening
still the
day.
same, or on opening day. But yeah, um, pretty busy week at work. As we got a lot of work put into our department, but we're getting through it slowly, and probably going to be working some extra hours, which will my accountant will like the extra money. So
Isn't that your wife?
yeah, but
Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, the our bathroom remodel project is coming along. We got a new banister and stairs, so
Nice.
the home remodels are coming right along
Good.
fairly quickly. Mike, how have you been?
Been great. Coaching and school and practice and school and work and uh, got lots of updates on that side of things, uh, both with the coaching side and with other things. Looks like, well, I'm getting my coaching certificate. We'll just put it that way.
Good,
I'm gonna get my coaching
good.
certificate. Uh, Next year, I will likely be doing sports that are not just video games. I like the video game side. I might also do that, or I might just do the video game side. I'm not sure yet. We will see. But at minimum, I will need to get my coaching endorsement because next year there's likely times that I will be actively coaching sports and stuff. So that'll be exciting.
All right, Mike. So what is on tap for the show today, Mike?
Well, like I just teased, we will be talking about Mario Kart and the update there. That will happen today, but we also have the NCAA tournament. Rich, what else do we have?
You know what, Mike? We got to go into the NASCAR corner to talk about Coda and Richmond. And we finally have regular season baseball to talk about. Finally,
Yeah,
finally. But, Mike, all that and more, but what do we got to do first?
we're gonna roll that intro. Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich. And we're back. Okay, Rich. So, oh man, I forgot to turn my light on over here. So give me just a second while I do that. Rich, before we get into sports, we do have to talk about the poll question. Let us know what that poll question was.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Our poll questions in stadium songs or jock jams was Blur song 2, better known by its chorus, Woohoo!
Yep.
Or Whoop. There it is. Mike, where did you vote while you were looking up those poll results?
You know, um, I think, what did I vote? I think I voted for Whoop, There It Is. I think, but I don't remember all the way.
All right, I
Oh,
went with
no. I went with Blur, song number 2. Woohoo!
yeah, that's what I went with too. Once again, it just comes back down to going to Steamwheeler games and having that be a part of every single time they scored a touchdown. And with arena football, they score a lot of touchdowns.
They do. Did you know that I went to uh, the first game of the new Steamwheelers, and I actually caught a football.
Yeah, we were at that game together. I think it was. I
Were
don't
we at that
remember if
game?
it was a regular season or a postseason, but yeah, or a preseason. But yeah, we were there.
Okay, I don't remember. I went with a few people. Like I went to a bunch of games when that first season, and I didn't remember if you were there for that one. Anyway, no, not the. I don't remember. I thought it was while you were in.
I could have swore we went to a game together. I think it was new Steam Wheelers, not the
No,
original Steam Wheelers.
you and I by ourselves went when you had season tickets like twice.
Oh, okay.
I know that. I don't remember if we went to the new Steam Wheelers together. I kind of,
We went to one of those games together. We brought the wives along too.
yeah. Okay.
I don't remember if that was the game
That
where
was
you caught a
not
ball,
the game
but
that I caught a ball.
I thought it was.
I could tell you, I think, I don't, maybe, I don't know. I don't think so, though.
It's okay. It's okay. So, Mike, what were the poll results for the fan vote?
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news?
It doesn't matter to me. It's.
We
I'm just glad that people vote in our polls, Mike. It doesn't matter whether it goes to the direction that I want it to go to or not.
We had 2 votes for Blur.
Okay.
Song number 2, aka a woohoo. But whoop, there it is. Got 11.
Wow. Mike, why don't you give some shout outs? Because that's a pretty good number for us.
Jordan Stroop, Solomon Stroop, Greg Sackerson, Sue Hart, Josh Hendricks, Danielle Hart, Mark Hendricks, Andrea Hecht, Rodney Mueller, Sean Hurley, and Mark Johansson. Thank you all for voting on our poll. We really do appreciate that. That's awesome. We like that camaraderie and all that. Yeah. So
yeah, just a reminder out there: if you vote on our polls, you will get a shout out. I take it we were the two people that voted for Blur.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have nights like that. We're gonna have poll results like that where it doesn't necessarily go with the songs that we voted for.
Yeah. By the way, Rich, we forgot to talk about what's going on. Like today being kind of weird, but let's give the poll results, the next week's poll question, and then we're going to talk about something completely different that we should have done before the show started, and you can probably wait till the end of the show, but I'm going to do it here.
Okay, so next week we're going to go with "Don't Stop Believin'" or "Living on a Prayer."
Wow, 2 powerhouse songs. That's going to be a rough one. I hope we should get as many votes as we did this last week. Okay.
I'm hoping so. So, Mike, where do you want to take us off topic?
This has nothing to do with anything, but we are going to talk weather today.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot to mention that you guys had active tornadoes in the Quad City area. I don't know if
in the metroplex, at least in the metro area.
Well, I know Geneseo did, and Calamus Wheatland, and Grand Junction, and I heard there was one in the Milan area.
I don't know if we had touchdown in the Milan area, but there were
indications, I suppose.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. It was kind of scary for a little while to see all the high winds. Reminded me of the derecho that we had.
Yeah.
And by our Honda Pilot, which is temporarily being parked in the driveway due to our due to our home improvement projects.
Yep.
And didn't have any damage. We were kind of hoping for some hail damage to get new siding and to get
maybe
some money
roof?
for damaging the car. Yeah, or a new roof. It just wasn't bad enough, I guess. It wasn't that bad, which is great too. Which is good. Which is good at the same time.
And from what I hear, there's been no real life-threatening issues that have happened, so that's good to hear. I did hear that there might have been a house collapse in DeWitt, but I don't know. That's all I heard. But while you guys are dealing with that, we are in a blizzard warning.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mother Nature is playing one April Fool's joke on the state of Iowa right now. That's all. Just wanted to compare and contrast. You guys are having tornado warnings and severe thunderstorms and Probably we're in the 60s today, I'm guessing.
I think it was in the high 50s,
Okay.
but it was really it was kind of windy, but
Yeah. Yeah.
really windy.
And
So I think we're out of the rain and
good.
we're out of the rain and there's just going to be some high winds
Good.
tomorrow. So
Yeah, and we're having a blizzard up here, so that's going to be crazy. Anyway, let's get back into sports. Rich, NCAA tournament. Let's give a quick update, live update. If you're watching us on Facebook, we're going to give a live score update. We normally don't do this, but there is a reason for it. We do
yes.
broadcast in the state of Iowa, so we do want to present a score. The Iowa Hawkeyes are up 38-37 over the South Carolina Gamecocks, which, by the way, this is them trying to go back-to-back undefeated seasons, if I remember correctly, the Gamecocks.
South Carolina women's were, I think, yeah, they did win it. In our NCAA bracket pool, Mike, you want to go seventh? You want to go top? Want to go bottom to top for where
let's do
our
that.
shoutouts were?
Yep.
All right, in seventh place with no chance of improving, Alicia Allen with 31 points. Rory or Jimmy Chipwood got 41 points and will finish sixth.
Okay.
Mikey, you came in fifth with 43 points.
I was doing
no other teams alive.
I think all of mine came in I don't think I scored any points after the first weekend.
I think you got some, but you topped out at 43.
Wow.
In fourth place is Mark Malloy, 44. Dupo came in third with 45.
Is Mark Malloy topped out?
Yep, he's topped out.
Okay.
We're done. He's locked into fourth place. Dupo is locked into third place with 45. No more teams alive.
Okay.
Second place is me with 48 points. However, if the Yukon Huskies can win their Final Four game and go to the championship, I will jump up and win the tournament pick'em league because Jet, our current first place winner, has 50 points and they are done.
Okay. So
thank you for all that played. We look forward to having a bigger group next year, and we'll make sure to put that out as soon as we can at next year's NCAA tournament time. But thank you for everyone that played with us this year.
Yeah, it's crazy to look at how terrible this year was. So,
not terrible.
No, it was terrible.
From a prediction standpoint, it was terrible.
Oh yeah.
But from a viewership point of view of getting pure chaos and getting new teams, new blood in advancing so far into the tournament. When was the last time you could? I know we looked at last week. When was the last time you had no number one seeds make the Final Four? I'm wondering, is there something where there is no 1, 2, or 3 seeds to not make the Final Four? Because our highest seed is a number 4 seed at UConn. So while you're looking that up, Mike, obviously both of our national championships are out of it. You had Alabama, I had Arizona. So Mike, out of the 4 teams that are left, Florida Atlantic, Miami, UConn, and
you said Florida Atlantic?
San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State.
Who do you think is going to win the national championship out of those 4 teams?
You know what? I don't think they're going to win, but I am 100% voting for pure chaos, Rich.
Kim?
I am voting for Florida Atlantic.
Did you take Florida Atlantic?
I don't even think I took them in the first round.
I don't think I did either. I think they came out of the East. Yes, I had them losing to Memphis, and you did too, because you took Memphis a little bit further than I did.
Yeah, so
Neither of us have them winning in the first round. I'm going to go with UConn. They're the team that I had to lose in the national championship game to Arizona, who lost in the first round. So I'm going to go with the experience of UConn as a program to take it the rest of the way. But I'd love to see somebody like San Diego State, or a team that's never won a national championship, be cutting the nets down on Monday night.
Yeah, I don't care, but
No, neither do I. It's we
let's
got
go
to
for
pick
pure
something because we
chaos.
need content for this show, Mike.
We do. Um, so, Rich, uh, if I mean, obviously, if the Iowa girls win, you want them to win it all. I'm guessing. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
even an
why
Iowa
not?
fan. I'm a University of Illinois fan, and I still want. I'm still cheering for the University of Iowa to win it all. It'd be fun to see, but uh, if Iowa loses, do you want to see the Gamecocks go undefeated, or do you want to see them get defeated?
I'm going to go with might as well finish it off and get the win. Go back to
Okay.
back undefeated.
Okay. By the way, score is 48-41 Iowa.
Mm, well, close. We'll have to recap that before we sign off tonight. Mike, did you find anything out on when the last time?
No, I looked. I
Nothing.
couldn't. With
All right.
super quick research, I couldn't
Nothing's
find
there.
anything real quick. Rich, do you see what's coming up ahead?
I do, Mike. Is it a left turn?
Yes, it is. And what's after that, Rich?
Mike, is it another left turn?
It is. And why is that, Rich?
Well, Mike, because we're going to go into the NASCAR corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Fifth Avenue in Moline, Illinois, and you can also find them on eBay. Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. So, Mike, where were we last week?
Last week we were in Austin, Texas, at the Circuit of the Americas for the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix.
All right, Mike. So your pick, Mike,
You know,
Jimmy
it wasn't even
Johnson.
his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault.
Bro totally was doing fine. He was moving up the he was getting ready to like he was moving up the ranks, and a stupid wreck happened by a stupid Ross Chastain, I'm pretty sure, taking Jimmy Johnson out of the race. I wanted to watch
He
Jimmy
didn't get
run.
through. He didn't make it through one lap on one of his bucket list courses that
Yeah.
he wanted to run at this year.
He'll run. I'm sure he'll run next year too, and he'll run Coda next year.
I'm sure he will. So Mike, he finished dead last on 39, and my driver finished at the other end of the grid with Tyler Reddick winning the race, giving me a commanding lead between the two of us of 7-1.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It was rough. I mean, I still enjoyed the race. Uh, what did you think of no breaks for the stages? I mean, yes, we
You
had
know,
a break because of a wreck.
I really didn't notice it that much, that big of a difference. And with the road courses, you see a lot of people not stay out to get the stage points, and you'll see people pit early and punt on the stage points so they can have better track position win the next after the stage break anyway. So I really didn't notice that big of a difference. I didn't feel like it added anything to the strategy per se,
Yeah,
because that's how the road courses go anyway.
no, totally. And it was good. It didn't. So it was a blessing and a curse. One of the problems that we saw for a lot of the day was those at the front of the race, and Tyler Reddick was up there all day. He did great. You picked a winner in that one, but those at the front tended to just be way ahead, and then there was a gap of a second or more, and there wasn't a bunch of people stacked up. And so sometimes
Until the restarts.
until the restarts, and then the restarts, man,
Ooh,
do you
those
let's
restarts were rough.
let's give it a second before we get to that. And so
Okay.
it's nice to watch at the stage breaks and watch them have to do like to bunch up and restart. But then we watched the restarts at the green white checkered, and they couldn't get through the first corner, let alone a full lap in. They were wrecking
Yep.
everywhere. It was terrible.
Yeah, but by all means, for being selfish about it, every single time they get through one lap, it's all right. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, it's like the old press your luck. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Yeah, and
Getting around to that white flag
And
to
they-
get across the checkered to get that green the white flag for final lap to go where it didn't matter.
yeah,
And this was having that assurance that no matter what happened the rest of the race after lap two, that I was going to get 1 point on you.
yeah,
Still having that feeling, oh man, the guy that I picked has got a chance to win the race. Nope. Yellow, got to start it all over again,
Yeah.
run it again.
yeah.
3 restarts and he manages to win the race. So
Yeah, it was
way to go, Reddick.
it was a great race. It was fun to watch.
Hmm.
I could have used a little bit. Like, I do think that if it wasn't for the fact that the road courses caused so much chaos during a lot of those wrecking times, I think it actually would have been more enjoyable to watch them have those restarts in the middle of the race and have those stage breaks. But it takes like 10 minutes for them to get around the track when it's under caution. So I can see the problem.
All right, Mike. Anything else before we give the fantasy shout outs for the Circuit of the Americas?
That first round wreck was bogus.
All right, Mike. So for Circuit of the Americas, coming in 7th was Jordan the Supus with 82 points. Jeffrey the Stroop came in 6th with 92. Mikey, your guys scored 95 points, giving you a 5th place finish for Circuit of the Americas.
By the way, that's with a guy in last place. I'm just saying. I scored
All right.
a decent amount of points for one of my drivers to have been in last place, and then I forgot to switch him out.
All right. Jenna Beans came in 4th with 135. Dupo 24 came in 3rd with 162. I took 2nd with 176, and the Funkhouse is our winner this week for Coda with 190. Overall standings, Mike, our current leader is the Funkhouse with 1066. Myself and Dupo are tied for 2nd with 1057, making you 4th, Mike, with 940 points.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this week, Rich, we are at the Toyota Owners 400. Hey, that's me. I'm a Toyota owner.
You are?
Yeah. Do I get free tickets?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Well, we're at the Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond Motor Speedway. Rich, who you picking?
Well, Mike, the Joe Gibbs Toyotas typically do pretty good at this track. So I'm going to go with the one that I like the most, and I'm going to go to Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, and you're leaving me open to pick my favorite driver,
I did.
who is also a Joe Gibbs car. And the Joe Gibbs cars have been hot. But there's a guy who has great skill at this track and has done well for years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, and I like Kevin Harvick as well. Looking over his track history, he does really well at the Richmond Oval as well. Kevin Harvick will be in my starting lineup, but I'm going to go with Truex for the win
Okay.
because he has good track history as well.
Okay. Um, so, Rich, this has been the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. Check them out in Moline, Illinois for all your sports memorabilia needs. Once again, that is Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, also on eBay. Okay, Rich, let's keep making left turns as we go around the baseball diamond because we have baseball!
That's right, Mike. We do have baseball. The Cubbies had their opening day on Thursday
I think
afternoon at the friendly confines.
everybody had their opening day yesterday.
They did. I think
maybe
yeah,
not
you're
at
right.
home.
Everybody did.
Every team played yesterday. Did you like that?
I did like that. So, of the things that I can remember, Marcus Stroman became the first pitcher to have a pitch clock violation. Aaron Judge hit the first home run of the year for the Yankees. And I don't know the specifics of it, but a Mets batter got called for a strike because the runner that was on base didn't get back to first base in time
Yeah.
on a foul ball.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird thing to have the pitch clock involved like that. I can understand, like, if Bob, you were not, as the batter, you weren't set and ready to take that pitch within that certain time limit. That's a strike.
So
Restart
here's
the
the
clock.
real question. Does that become an automatic out at some point?
If you have a batter slowly retreating back to the base after maybe a close foul ball,
Yeah.
if he's running on the play, I don't know if it'd be an I didn't watch the highlight, but I would think that
So you have your choice.
I don't think that should count against the batter.
Right. Does it count against the batter so it gives him a strike?
But I don't know if it should count as an out though.
It has to do something. If the concept is you have to, that we're doing this to speed up the game and he's deliberately delaying the game. Deliberately delaying the game. Who do we penalize?
I think an out's too far, but you know one thing that could shorten these games, which will never happen? Shorter commercial breaks.
Wait, Rich. Shorter commercial breaks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, or do the side by side NASCAR thing if you want to if the pitcher is ready to go and the game resumes before the commercial break is over, go to picture in picture.
Yep.
And you still get your commercials in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That'll never get approached.
No,
we'll
actually get longer commercial breaks.
Oh yeah.
The pitch clock isn't to speed up the game. It's so that we can fit more commercial breaks in the allotted time for the game.
Yeah, I guess it's not enough that they're putting advertisements on the jersey sleeves, and you got the rotating digital boards with a green screen, so who's ever televising the game can put whatever ad they want. It isn't subject to what the team wants.
Yeah, you're going to charge me $100 for me to be a walking billboard for your, not just for your team, but for whoever you sell to put a patch on your jersey?
If you want to buy the authentic on the field replica, you're going to carry the jersey patch with it as well.
Yeah.
Hope you like that company, Mike. Thankfully, the Cubs have not sold a jersey patch yet, a partnership deal yet. Several teams have.
Like,
could you imagine a uniform like the Cubs or the Cardinals or the Yankees having a jersey patch on the sleeve?
Like
and
here's
iconic
here's my
uniforms
question.
like that.
I'll even say the Twins, the Cubs, the Twins, and the Yankees. What do they all have in common? Nice pinstripes. Yeah. How do you have pinstripes and have a billboard on your sleeve?
We'll find out soon enough, I bet, Mike. We will find out soon enough.
Ricketts, please don't do that. I know you
It's
don't.
gonna happen, Mike.
I know you don't
It's
care.
gonna happen.
I know you don't care. You don't listen to this show. If you do, by the way, we'll take an interview anytime. I will figure out how to get an interview to work. We'll do it anytime. Tom, you and me. We'll talk. I will even Rich will sit there in silence the entire time, in awe that I got a guy like Tom Ricketts on the line. Now Rich would have really good questions. I'd sit here and be like, "So what kind of beer do you order when you're sitting in your skybox?" And Rich is gonna be here like, "So what's it gonna take for us to get Shohei Ohtani? And did you really mean it when you said open up the purse strings? Does that include Shohei Ohtani? Because that should include Shohei Ohtani." Mr. Ricketts, please get Shohei Ohtani. And I'd be like, "So what kind of car do you drive?" Rich,
All valid questions. All valid questions.
I mean, if you're not talking about what kind of beer you're drinking at a baseball game, are you really doing it right?
You know, Mike, really, probably the question that would probably benefit both of us, that we probably both have on our minds, when are you going to make the Marquee Network a streaming, direct to customer streaming?
Yeah, then I can get rid of Fubo, which, by the way, we need to talk about that too.
No, it's all good. So, anyway, Mike, well, another kind of major tweak that was in an article that I posted, we haven't really gotten to talk about much. The one that really sticks out to me is that teams may want to police the bat boy and girl if they're not if they're not performing their duties in a satisfactory manner, according to MLB.
I got a really terrible thing to say about this.
Yep. And supposedly the league can ask the team to replace them if they are deemed not quick enough.
I got some really terrible things to say about this. You ready for it, Rich?
Sure.
Let's say, you know how there's Make-A-Wish and then there's like I'm gonna say things that probably aren't as politically correct as they should be. But you know how occasionally a bat boy or bat girl might be someone on a spectrum of either intelligence delay or social awkwardness delay.
I got you, Mike. Special needs?
Yeah, that's
okay. That's politically correct. Okay, go ahead.
Let's say somebody won the Special Olympics, and their prize in winning the Greater Chicagoland Special Olympics is to be a bat boy for the Cubs for the day. If they're not fast enough, is the league going to call up the Cubs and say, "Hey, that person can't do that"? Get them off the field?
Well, I think that it would be that I'd at least like to hope that type of decision is coming after the game.
Yeah, but
you're going to need to talk to so and so to tell him to be on top of his duties.
But or what if it's like a Make-A-Wish kid?
Yeah.
I want to be the bat boy for the day. And we're going to complain that these kids aren't fast enough? Or are they talking...
They're probably not...
Or are they talking the regular bat boy and
It's probably the regular.
Okay. Not the one for the 6th inning that gets to do it for that one inning, and that's all they get to do it for because it was their wish. Okay.
It's the full-time bat boy or bat girl that's on the payroll, I guess.
So a player or a coach's kid or an owner's kid.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Could
one
you
of those
see
guys.
A situation? Well, you remember with
Mark
when
McGwire.
Dusty was in town. When Dusty was Darren Baker, little Darren Baker.
Yeah.
When he was functioning as the bat boy during the when Dusty was the manager.
Or when I brought up Mark McGuire, famously brought his son around the entire season that he was on steroids and won the home run championship race with Sammy Sosa. He brought his son the entire time as the official bat boy. One of those kids, is it like, I don't know. I think that's dumb. Like, we should
Once again, they're
out of
once
touch.
again,
Major League Baseball is out of touch. It's not about the pace of play. Rich, hang on. I'm gonna look something up.
I mean, overall, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's not about the pace of play. It seems like Major League Baseball is trying everything that it can to get the games to be within an acceptable time limit. They want to get these games over with in under 3 hours. Wouldn't you say at least 3 hours, or try to get it between 2.5 hours?
Yeah, totally. That's what
anything that they can do other than shortening the commercial breaks.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to find something real quick. Rich, you're supposed to be so.
I'm trying, Mike. Other rules that came out were just probably little minor tweaks about the pitch clock, having umpires have the discretionary ability with the clock when it comes to catchers who finish an inning or were on base. If a hitter calls timeout, which is allowed per one plate appearance, the clock would restart. Umpires can delay the start of the pitch clock or wave it off if the operator has already started it on brushback pitches or big swings. Replays of oh yes. The most important, according to Jeff Passan, replays of defensive shift violation. There were some concerns that teams could challenge defensive positioning on key plays, hoping that one of the infielders had a toe or a heel beyond where they're supposed to be standing. They are, today's memo that I'm referencing here with the article, that only the position of the player who first fielded the ball can be challenged. For instance, on a ground out to the third baseman, the batting team can't challenge that the second baseman was violating the position rules.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't remember. I'm trying to find the length of the U.S. Japan game.
Oh, okay, for WBC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the YouTube video is 3 hours and 8 minutes. 3 hours and 8 minutes is what they have for that.
And they had no pitch clock, no limitations on defensive shifts, nothing.
It was also one of the best. That's basically the entire length of the game. They basically gave you the starting lineups, and that's it. And then they started the game. They gave you a little bit at the end, but not much. Not much at all. So we're going to say 2 hours and 50. We'll say 2 hours and 50 minutes, okay? 2 hours and 50 minutes is how long that game took. But the world was watching it, and the world was entertained by it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared about how long that game was. Nobody. So, to me, that doesn't seem like the problem is the pace of play. It's how truly entertaining are the games. What's at stake? this. I'm gonna make a terrible argument,
Okay.
but an argument I don't agree with, but an argument that makes sense.
All right, go ahead.
What if there was only 100 games a season?
So going back to the Babe Ruth era,
Yeah. What if it
Babe Ruth
wasn't
era.
162 games?
So you're talking maybe scaling it back to 156.
156, 100. What if we went down to 80 games a year?
I really don't know if you could back it down that much, but
Two games a week
you know,
for the entire summer. Players would be at less risk. Each game would mean way more.
So you'd want a COVID shortened season because how many games did they play in the COVID shortened season?
Yeah, why not? But stretch it out the entire length of the baseball season. By the way, doing that, you could have a game. You could have it on Major League or on primetime TV every night. You could have a game on primetime every night, Monday through Friday.
Do you think the league has too many teams?
Maybe.
When you see
I don't think that's the problem.
teams like Pittsburgh Tampa just has very little to no payroll, but they make up for it with all their scouting.
How about
and finding ways to get through?
You want to talk about
prospects.
You want to talk about terrible things? How about we talk about the Oakland A's had Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout come in for the day for opening day baseball? How many people showed up? I think it was less than 10,000. I would not be surprised.
Well, what was your guess, Mike?
I said around 10,000.
Well, actually, it was 26,805.
They were that high? That's crazy.
But, Mike, however, the Coliseum has a seating capacity of 63,132.
Like for
I'm sorry,
real.
for baseball. For baseball, they said that's 46,847. So nowhere near.
They were
sellout.
less than half. Less than half. And they had the two greatest baseball players currently playing baseball. And arguably, probably the number one baseball, like the greatest baseball player anybody, even our parents' generation or younger, has ever seen in their life. If not ever, that anybody's ever seen. Like, how do you... It's opening day. How do you not sell out opening day, number one? Number two, how do you... It doesn't make sense. By the way, the numbers I have are... The numbers on ESPN claim 26,805, which is the same as what you said, but only 35,067 people is capacity.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean... But at the same time, that's why the A's are looking for a new stadium, or B, to be relocating possibly to Las Vegas, because the fans aren't showing up at that really outdated ballpark that they have in Oakland, the very last dual usage stadium.
No, I'm not listening to that, Rich. You can't complain about an outdated stadium. You want to talk about outdated? How about troughs for urinals? How about water pipes that aren't designed to handle that much water, so the troughs are overflowing by the end of the game.
There have been sewage leaks in Oakland, Mike.
Okay, but I'm saying
Just like what you're saying.
I'm saying a regular occurrence. How about the is it the oldest or second oldest? I don't remember if Fenway opened up first or
Wrigley is the second oldest.
Right. How about the second oldest stadium in baseball?
Yeah.
Those seats,
but the Ricketts family has put money into that ballpark to modernize it.
They have, and it's better. But there's still a lot of stuff in it that's still outdated. Go sit in those bleachers and tell me. Go sit in a 95-degree day sit on those bleachers first. Your ass is going to be burned. Sorry for the language. But second, tell me that it's not outdated when you're sitting on those hot bleachers. Now, is there any place I'd rather be on a 95-degree day in January? No. Or in July? No. An outdated stadium isn't why people don't go to a stadium. It's terrible market and all that stuff. So
their owner hasn't been the smartest guy either. I don't think, with not constantly having turnover and it's worked. The whole Moneyball
worked.
Sign cheap players.
But the problem is that there's no loyalty. There's no. It's not been it works in. It's a way to win.
It works in spurts,
right.
But you're gonna have your highs once you get all those top prospects that you traded for developed and on the team. But when they start getting expensive,
then they
start getting shipped out of town. You got to start all over again.
Yep, and you're in the ultimate rebuild, and you're never, unless you're willing to spend the money, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yep. The only team I think's been able to put the Moneyball thing into practice is Tampa.
Yeah.
And they're constantly always winning. But Tampa's also done unconventional things.
Yeah.
They were the ones that started the shifting, the inning, the openers.
But
making it work with the people that they have.
But you just said it. Tampa's willing to do the things that it takes to make Moneyball work. Moneyball doesn't work if you're not willing to look at, because Moneyball is the initial factor for the reason why we go to analytics, right? That's kind of the birth of analytics was Moneyball. So if you're gonna claim to play Moneyball baseball, that means you have to play all of it. That means you have to be willing to put nobody in the left field when you want to do a shift to the right. That means you gotta have an opener, middle, your starter that goes 4 innings, doesn't see anybody more than twice, and then have a bullpen that'll back it up. That's what you have to do. You have to do all of it, not just, okay, we're going to get the best people for the cheapest price.
And also hope that the prospects that you're bringing up on these cheap contracts pay off.
Right. You have to do all of it. So I disagree with the stadium argument. I disagree. I think it's just that they tend to put out a more inferior product than anybody else in the league. And that's the problem. So,
I can give you that.
So,
all right, Mike, the Cubbies had their opening day Thursday. How was your opening day, Mike?
I didn't get to watch as much of it as I wanted to, but I got to tell you. So I didn't get to watch or listen to the first 5 innings, but as I didn't get lunch until 2:30. I get in my car. I get the game on. I'm driving down to Spencer to get lunch and donuts for the the Mario Kart guys. As I'm going down there, I'm listening to the game. I walk into Hy-Vee, and guess what, Rich? I boombox it, and I listen to the game as loud as I can get it on my phone, walking through Hy-Vee like I'm an 85-year-old man that doesn't understand that it's rude to listen to something on your phone while a game while you're in public. That's rude. Didn't care.
Yeah. Or you're walking around talking to someone on the speakerphone.
Right. I didn't do that. I just listened to Pat and Ron on the radio, and did all that. Got back in my car, rode back, listened to it while we were having practice. It was great. Made me at least somewhat happy. And you know what?
Mike, go ahead and tell what happened with God Bless America and the national anthem at the school.
So we were doing a walk around we're doing some upgrades to some systems, and as we were walking around with the people that we were showing what we were wanting upgraded, we walked into our middle school commons, and God Bless America comes on, and we stand and we watch it, and then the national anthem comes on, and off comes my hat, and I stand there with my hat over my heart, and I'm watching the American flag get folded out over beautiful Wrigley Stadium, and everybody around me joins me and does the same thing. And then we put our hats back on and say, play ball. So, it was great.
And how exactly? I too didn't get to listen to the entire game. I listened to most of it while I was working, but I had a mandatory conference call that I had to be in attendance to and kind of listen passively listen to. That caused me to miss from like 2 till a 1. Yeah, it was about 2 to 2:45.
Yep.
It's like a 45-minute presentation that I had to passively listen to, and mark that I was in attendance for the course.
Yeah.
And so I missed it, but I mean, it was great to hear. There's a lot of Cub fans over at the warehouse that I work into, to where I was stapling something, putting something in a box so it could get out of our area. And the guy points at me, "You saw that? I know you saw that." It was like, "I'm sorry, I was in a conference call. What happened?" They went up. They're 4-0 now. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. It's great. We have a lot of Cubs fans
That was cool.
around. It's been awesome. So as you said, the Cubs won 4-0. Great way to start opening day. Rich, you called it. We got to get going. We're at 52 minutes already, by the way.
Wow.
Once we get baseball going, we're going to talk. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. So, Rich, this next week, the Cubs are playing 2 with the Brewers at home tomorrow and Sunday. Then they have a 3-day road trip out to see the Reds. Then they come home for 1 game with the Rangers, where we will be recording. Is that a Friday recording that you're planning?
We'll talk off. We'll work out the details.
Okay.
Offline. But yeah, a 1 game with the Trout. Those are the games from show to show.
Okay.
So Mike, we got 2 division rivals on the docket this week. You never know what's going to happen in those division games, and we still don't really know what the back end of the Cubs rotation is going to look like.
True that.
So I'm going to go 3 wins.
You know,
I'm going to go conservative.
I'm going to go 4.
Okay.
It's the Reds are the Reds, so we should be able to do something against them. But they are a division rival, so I think we'll get 2 out of that. We should be able to squeak 1 by the Brewers in the next 2, because we're at home. It only leaves the 1 with the Rangers. I don't know who we're going to pitch against, but I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say we can win that game. Give us 4.
All right, Mike. So we owe the crowd, or we owe our listeners, a pick for our World Series.
Yes, we do.
Mike, you put the Dodgers and the Yankees in the World Series. Who's going to win it?
I think it's going to be the Yankees, and I'm not happy about saying that, but I'm going to say the Yankees.
All right. I went with the Padres and the Yankees in the World Series, and I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Padres.
Okay. Both of us, by the way, have a coast to coast uh, uh, trips for the World Series.
Yeah. All right, Mike. So, really nothing to report on the NFL as we don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Supposedly he's been traded to the Jets, but they haven't
It's
officially
not
announced the
official.
trade. Yeah, it's not official. It's Aaron Rodgers wants it to happen, but I guess they haven't agreed on terms yet, and Lamar Jackson's kind of still hanging out in
Lamar
limbo, waiting
Jackson's
for
been
that.
franchise tagged. That's what we know. Somebody's got to match it if they want to pay, or has to make him an offer. Okay,
He requested a trade, but still nothing coming yet. So, Mike, tell us give us a quick
so
Mario Kart League update.
our first match we won very handily, 110 to 77 to 66, and then our second match we took second place by 4 points against Osage. We're doing great. Osage is a great team, and then we had a few more guys join up this week who were finishing up some other things that they had obligations to. Okay, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't want to know about the Masked Singer, we'll see you next time. But if you want to listen to us later and you don't want to watch us on Facebook, check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Look for Balls and Sticks and look for Rich and I playing baseball in tuxedos. Once again, this is a spoiler alert. So for the Masked Singer, we had a whole new group.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was good. I really liked it.
I know. I did too. I mean, that there was one clear cut person that didn't quite measure up to the other two
Yep.
panelists.
I called who it was during the clue
You did.
package.
So Mike,
During
who was the first person unmasked, Mike?
So the first person unmasked was the Moose. You know what? The clue package was coming up, and there were things that they were saying in it, and I said I think it's one of the super fans, and the only one that really to me makes sense for this show and in that outfit, gotta be George Wendt, or as everybody knows him, Norm. Sure
Yeah.
enough,
It
it comes
was
out.
Norm.
It was Norm. So I called that one early, and I was right. So I feel good about that one.
All right. The other person that was unmasked was the Scorpion.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Okay.
Not quite the Scorpion, but not. I don't know. I don't get it, but whatever. And that was Christine Quinn, who formerly I don't know who she is.
She was an entrepreneur and author. You can see her on her reality show, Selling Sunset.
Okay.
Never heard of that show.
It was a good episode. I don't think, honestly, I don't think either the Scorpion or who was the third person for the week. There were 3 people. It was.
Yeah, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't recall who the person that won it. I don't remember who the character was that stayed on. But either way, I don't think it was one that you could say, man, they should have used the bell.
No, they shouldn't have
You know,
used the
I
bell.
think there was
And I
there
don't
was a
think
clear
either
winner
one
of that group.
But I don't think any of them were that good. I genuinely didn't think anybody was good enough to be saved even, let alone like. I think we're gonna see. I can't remember. Oh, it was the. I can see it now. What was it? Because it's a guy in a girl's outfit thing.
Oh yeah, the doll.
The doll, yeah. Yeah, the dead doll thing. That dead doll thing is not, like, that guy was not that good. I think the guy's going to go home. But
He was the best of the 3, though.
yeah, but that's like saying my fart smells better than a skunk or a dead rat that's been decaying for 3 weeks. Like,
Gotcha. Okay.
of the three, yeah, my smart fart smells the best, but do I want to be trapped around it? No.
Rather interesting analogy, Mike.
But it makes
All right,
sense,
Mike, so
right?
that-
Like, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
I guess so, Mike. I guess so.
Do you think that the doll is good enough to go against either of the two that were saved,
No, I don't.
or three-quarters of the people we've seen so far? The answer is no.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Of the people that just narrowly missed it, I think he was. I thought the Stallion was better. They got voted
Yes.
off on the first night,
Yes.
and even the person that lost to Medusa on the second night,
Yeah.
was better.
Yeah. I think there have been much better people. I'm not. So the doll's going to be gone
It's
this
still
week.
a fun show.
It's
still a fun show
I
to
still
watch.
love the show, and there's a reason we talk about it every week. I'm watching it every week. I love the show. My wife loves the show. It's a show we could watch with our child if we wanted to, but she doesn't stay up that late, so whatever. We put it on sometimes before she goes to bed because we record it and watch it the night after, so we don't have to watch commercials. I haven't watched a commercial on that show in years. Don't watch commercials on most of the over-the-air TV that I watch. It's awesome. Anyway, with that being said, Rich, anything else about the Masked Singer you want to talk about?
Not really, Mike. Do we have any comment or reaction shoutouts
We
tonight?
got a thumbs up
Nice.
from a Mr. Solomon Stroop. Solomon, thanks for joining us this week again. As always, folks, if you are watching us on Facebook and you want to take us in the car with you, Rich, where should they go?
You know what, Mike? They can look up our recordings wherever they find their favorite podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, just to name a few.
Rich,
Mike,
let's say
if
they're listening to us.
us.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you took it. I thought I had the transition right there, and you stole it from me.
Yeah.
Mike, if they're listening to us out in podcast land, but they want to see our pretty faces, where can they find us besides Facebook?
Well, they should check us out on YouTube. And if you're wanting to get a reaction shout out like Solomon did today, or you want to participate in our poll questions, jump on over to Facebook, look us up at our Fans of Balls and Sticks Facebook page, where we put all of our poll questions and where we daisy chain we share our stream of from our main page, or you can go to our main page. Either one of those. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. And Rich, what should I do?
Mike, why don't you go ahead and roll that outro?
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.